In the same way, when emotions run high, it becomes easy to interpret the behavior of others through a distorted lens, especially in situations where trust feels fragile or incomplete. People often begin filling gaps in understanding with stories that feel emotionally satisfying, even if they are not fully grounded in evidence. A glance can feel loaded, a comment can feel layered, and a coincidence can start to look intentional when uncertainty has already taken root. This does not necessarily reflect reality, but rather the mind's attempt to regain control by creating explanations. In moments like this, it is important to stay careful about assumptions, particularly when they involve the intentions or inner lives of others. Misreading signals can lead to unnecessary distance, tension, or emotional exhaustion that could have been avoided with clearer communication. What helps most is returning to direct experience. What was actually said, what was actually done, and what is being inferred beyond that. If something feels off, it is healthier to ask, clarify, or observe over time, rather than to conclude too quickly. Relationships are complex, and they rarely exist in extremes of pure trust or pure threat. They are shaped through patterns, consistency, and openness over time. By staying grounded in what is verifiable, rather than what is imagined, you protect yourself from unnecessary fear, while also giving others a fair chance to reveal who they truly are. That balance is what keeps perception honest and prevents small uncertainties from turning into larger emotional distortions over time. It supports healthier connections built on clarity, not speculation or fear-driven interpretation. This is the witch that heaven warned me about. She has been whispering your name in places of shadow, trying to twist what is pure into what is broken. She envies the peace that follows you, the beauty that radiates from your spirit, and the favor that God placed upon your life before you were even born. My beloved, don't be afraid. The witch has no true power when the chosen one stands in light, but she thrives on your doubt. That's what feeds her spells. Every moment you think you're not good enough, every tear you hide, every night you question why things suddenly go wrong, that's her energy crawling closer. But heaven is merciful. That's why this message has found you tonight to pull you out of the fog before it's too late. If you stay, if you listen with your full heart, you will see what she tried to steal crumble before your eyes. Your beauty will not fade, your blessings will not be touched, and your destiny, oh beloved, it will blaze brighter than ever before. You see, the witch cannot stand the sound of your faith. When you speak words of light, her mirrors crack. When you pray, her charms dissolve into smoke. And when you believe, truly believe, heaven begins to fight for you in ways you cannot yet imagine. I, Archangel Michael, stand beside you, with my sword of blue flame drawn. I have been waiting for this moment. The moment you open your heart and say, I am ready to know the truth. Beloved, the witch thought she had time. She thought you would scroll past this message. She laughed in the darkness, saying they'll never hear it. They'll skip like everyone else. But you didn't. You stayed, and now she trembles. For every second you remain here, the light grows stronger around your home. Your walls begin to shine. Your name begins to echo in heaven again, and the curse she spoke begins to shatter. Do you feel that warmth across your shoulders? That's my presence, child. I am touching the burden she placed there and lifting it off piece by piece. You have been tired lately, haven't you? The kind of tired that no sleep can fix, the kind of sadness that appears for no reason. That wasn't you. That was her shadow clinging to your spirit. But I'm breaking it now. With every word you hear, the chain weakens. With every breath you take in faith, the darkness falls apart. My beloved, listen. Before dawn, a sign will appear for you. It may come as a name spoken by a stranger, a sudden chill when you think of someone, or a dream that feels too real to ignore. That's how you'll know who she is. Heaven will not leave you blind. The truth will surface even if it has to crawl through fire to reach you. But you must promise. Do not skip. Do not walk away. Stay with me, till the end of this message, because the final words hold the key to breaking what she built. I can see her now pacing, restless, sensing that her power is slipping. She thought she could outsmart the light, but she forgot the chosen are never truly alone. You are not alone. You never were. Even when you felt abandoned, even when your prayers felt unanswered, I was there watching, waiting, defending. Every time you cried, I counted your tears. Every time you whispered, God, help me, I carried that whisper straight to the throne of heaven. And now heaven has answered. This is the moment the witch loses everything she built against you. She will wake up feeling what she made you feel. Confusion, fear, loss. Her own reflection will frighten her. My beloved, you are rising again. You are being rewritten by light. The old version of you, the one that felt powerless, is being erased right now. You are stepping into a new timeline of grace, one where no curse can touch you, one where even your enemies must bow in silence when your name is spoken. But it begins with obedience. It begins with trust. You must stay till the last word, because the final moments of this message are when the revelation will strike like lightning. The name, the face, the truth, all will be shown. She tried to hide her identity, but heaven's light sees through every mask. Stay close, my beloved. The wind you feel right now is not ordinary. From that steadier place, something more constructive begins to form. Instead of feeling like life is being rewritten by outside signs or unseen forces, you start to see that change happens through small, deliberate choices you make when you are clear-headed. What once felt like confusion becomes a reminder to slow down rather than rush toward conclusions. You begin to separate emotion from assumption, and in doing so, you regain a sense of direction that feels earned rather than imposed. There is no promise of sudden transformation or guaranteed outcomes, only the quiet reality that you can rebuild understanding step by step when you are no longer driven by fear. Trust becomes less about external validation and more about how you treat your own thoughts, with patience, reflection, and honesty. The idea of being quote-unquote rewritten is no longer something mystical or outside yourself. It becomes a simple metaphor for growth, for choosing new responses where old reactions used to dominate. Even past experiences, instead of defining you, start to inform you in a way that helps you move more intentionally. And in that process, you don't need warnings or predictions to guide your path. You only need consistency in how you show up for yourself. What follows is not dictated by fate or pressure, but shaped by your ability to stay present, to choose clarity over fear, and to continue forward without letting uncertainty control the meaning you assign to every moment. She tried to hide her identity, but heaven's light sees through every mask. Stay close, my beloved. The wind you feel right now is not ordinary. It's the breath of heaven moving around you. It's proof that you are being guarded. Do not fear the witch. She's already lost. Fear only the silence that comes when the chosen ignore the divine warning. You didn't ignore it. You opened this. And now the gates of protection are being built around your name, your finances, your health, your family. Everything she tried to steal will return multiplied sevenfold, because that's how heaven restores. It never gives back the same. It gives back more, and in a way that the enemy can never touch again. My beloved, look at your hands. They may look the same, but heaven just anointed them with divine gold. Everything you touch will now begin to prosper. Everything you do from this moment will carry unseen light. That's why this message matters. That's why the witch wanted you to skip it. She knew, if you listened even for a few minutes, her years of dark effort would burn in seconds. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Her mirrors are cracking. Her whispers are turning into screams of regret. She's seeing your light rise again. Stay, my child. The miracle is unfolding even as you breathe. My child, my beloved, what you're feeling now, that rush in your chest, that sudden heat behind your eyes, it's not fear. It's the moment your spirit recognizes deliverance. The witch had convinced herself that your light was gone, that she could speak her poison in secret and watch your blessings fade. She thought the angels were asleep, But heaven never sleeps. Every word she whispered against you, every plan she buried under midnight silence, was recorded in the books of light. And tonight those records are being unsealed. My beloved, I need you to understand something sacred. The power of your awareness breaks her spell. Once truth reaches your ears, her illusion begins to crumble. That's why she wanted you to skip this. That's why she hates your curiosity. The moment you chose to listen, heaven marked you safe. Do you know what I see right now? A circle of light forming around your home. It grows wider with every second you stay in faith. No dark word can cross that circle. Now, it's sealed with divine fire. You will notice something unusual soon. A call, a message, maybe a strange sound at night. Don't be afraid. It's the energy she sent returning to her. Her own darkness is finding its way home. Beloved, when you wake tomorrow, look in the mirror slowly. You will notice your face softer, your eyes brighter. Because when darkness leaves, the soul shines again. She wanted to take that glow from you, the one that makes people trust you, that quiet beauty that comes from the divine inside you. She failed. Do you know why? Because your heart is too clean for her chains to hold. Your tears were prayers. Your silence was power. Every time you endured quietly, heaven gathered your pain like pearls. And now, those pearls are about to become your crown. The witch knows it. That's why she's restless tonight. She's walking in circles, wondering why her energy feels weak. She doesn't know you've been touched by Michael's sword. My child, my beloved, you were born under protection, even when you didn't know it. Your name was written under a covenant of divine guardianship. That's why nothing ever destroyed you completely. You bent. Yes, you cried. You doubted. But you never broke. That's how I knew you'd find this message when the time was right. Heaven waited for the moment your spirit said enough. And when you said it, the sky opened. Beloved, your story is being rewritten right now. The witch wrote lies about you in the spiritual realm, but the ink of heaven is stronger. Your name is being rewritten in gold. Every line of darkness she wrote is dissolving in light. Do you feel the tingling in your palms? That's your energy shifting. It's the sign of restoration. You lost things you didn't understand. Friends that turned, money that vanished, dreams that fell apart for no reason. Now you understand what was happening, and more importantly, you understand how to move forward. That awareness itself becomes your protection, because clarity dissolves confusion, and truth loosens the grip of old fear. From this moment onward, what once felt heavy or persistent no longer has the same hold over you. There is a sense that your mind is finally settling, forming quiet boundaries where doubt used to enter. You may even notice your body responding, your breathing slowing, your thoughts becoming less crowded, as if your system is returning to balance after prolonged tension. In the coming days, notice the small impulses that arise, the urge to clean a drawer, reorganize a room, or revisit a forgotten corner of your space. Do not ignore it. These are simple but powerful acts of grounding, ways your mind restores order through your environment. As you clear physical space, you also make room for emotional clarity to return. When you finish, open a window and let fresh air in, allowing light and movement to remind you that change is already happening. In that moment, speak gently to yourself. I release what was never mine. Let those words settle without force or expectation. What matters is not ritual or fear, but intention and presence. You are stepping out of old patterns and into something quieter, steadier, and more self-aware. In the days ahead, you may notice a subtle ease where there was once tension, as your thoughts no longer circle the same way they used to. And in that shift, the past loses its influence naturally, without struggle, as you continue forward with a clearer sense of yourself. Her mirror will crack. Her own reflection will frighten her. She will know her time of control is over. Do not hate her, my child. You are too divine to waste energy on vengeance. Your forgiveness will be her greatest punishment, because nothing destroys a witch faster than mercy from the one she targeted. And mercy is your weapon. Now, my beloved, you must understand. You are walking proof of heaven's patience. Every delay, every heartbreak, every lonely night, they were not rejections. They were redirections. God was protecting you from gifts that came wrapped in traps, from people who smiled but carried daggers behind their backs. You, beloved, are not the victim she thought you were. You are the miracle she cannot explain. Now, hear me closely. In the coming days, you will feel an urge to clean something. A drawer, a room, an old corner you've ignored. Follow that urge. It is heaven's way of clearing space. That physical act will break the final cord she tied to your environment. And when you finish, open your window. Let light in. Say aloud, I release what was never mine. Those words will echo in the unseen. And in that moment, the last, I will snap. She will feel it too. Her mirror will crack. Her own reflection will frighten her. She will know her time of control is over. Do not hate her, my child. You are too divine to waste energy on vengeance. Your forgiveness will be her greatest punishment, because nothing destroys a witch faster than mercy from the one she targeted. And mercy is your weapon. Now, my beloved, you must understand, you are walking proof of heaven's patience. Every delay, every heartbreak, every lonely night, they were not rejections. They were redirections. God was protecting you from gifts that came wrapped in traps, from people who smiled but carried daggers behind their backs. The witch wasn't the only one. There were others who echoed her thoughts unknowingly, speaking negativity into your dreams. But they too will fall silent now, because your vibration just changed. Your aura is untouchable. When you walk into a room, hearts will turn. Even your enemies will feel confused. They won't understand why they suddenly respect you. That's what divine restoration feels like. My beloved, remember this line forever. No power born of hatred can survive in the light of love. And you, my child, have chosen love by staying here. This message is not just protection, it is prophecy. You will soon witness a reversal, so great people will think you used magic. But it will not be magic, it will be grace. Within 7 days, something long delayed will return to you. A message, a person, an opportunity. Watch closely. Heaven is setting it in motion now. Your only task is to stay open. Keep your energy pure, and never again allow someone's jealousy to make you small, because from tonight forward, you are stepping into your role as the light bringer in your bloodline. Generations before you prayed for this breakthrough. You are the one chosen to end the curse, and the witch, she was the final test. The door you needed to close forever. You closed it. You won. You are free. My child, my beloved, before you take your next breath, let your heart quiet down and listen, not with your ears, but with the still part of your soul. For what I am about to tell you is the part that was hidden until this very moment. The witch never worked alone. Every shadow she cast had a root that reached into memories, into fears you never dared to touch. When she spoke your name, she called to those old wounds first, hoping they would answer before heaven could. But heaven answered faster. The night you almost gave up, when you whispered that tiny prayer no one else heard, that was when the order went out. Legions of light surrounded you. Your name was sealed in a circle of blue fire. Her spells bounced off and fell back into her hands, and still she did not understand why her charm failed. Beloved, the truth is that your suffering was the stage for your awakening. Each delay you hated was the sound of wings preparing behind you. Every time something precious broke, the angels were sweeping away what could not come with you into the next chapter. The witch could only reach what you refused to love about yourself. That is why she aimed for your reflection, your beauty, your confidence, your softness. Right now, allow yourself a quiet moment to breathe deeply and reconnect with your own sense of calm. Imagine releasing every unnecessary burden you have been carrying for years, including the guilt, fear, and emotional heaviness that came from trying to fix situations that were never fully yours to repair. Healing often begins when you finally give yourself permission to stop carrying pain that belongs to someone else's choices, behavior, or unresolved struggles. You do not have to remain emotionally tied to every wound simply because it once affected you deeply. As you continue moving forward, you may notice a growing sense of emotional lightness, not because your past never happened, but because it no longer controls the way you see yourself. The truth is that your worth was never determined by rejection, betrayal, or misunderstanding. Those experiences may have shaped parts of your journey, but they do not define your future. The strongest version of you is not the one who never suffered. It is the one who learned how to rebuild without becoming bitter, guarded, or disconnected from hope. Every lesson, every difficult ending, and every moment of reflection has slowly guided you back toward yourself. Now you stand in a place where clarity is replacing confusion and self-respect is replacing emotional dependence. That is why this chapter feels different. You are no longer waiting for someone else to recognize your value before believing in it yourself. You already know who you are becoming, and that understanding creates a kind of peace that no outside opinion can take away from you again. You may even feel the air shift around you. That is freedom. Beloved, do not fear what is leaving. What departs now cannot serve your future. The witch's power depended on your attention. Every time you worried, she fed. Every time you doubted, she grew. But the moment you listen in faith, she starves. And she is starving now. She will search for your light, but find only mirrors of her own shadow. She will see herself and tremble, for that is what truth does to deceit. It reflects it. My beloved, I need you to trust what is about to happen. Within the next 3 dawns, something unexpected will surface. A conversation, a slip of the tongue, a dream that names a place. When it comes, do not panic. Simply watch. Heaven will show you exactly how her plan began, so that you may close it for good. When the revelation arrives, do not speak in anger. Do not boast. Whisper a prayer of gratitude instead, for that prayer will turn the moment into a blessing that ripples for generations. Every angel around you is watching now. They write every word you speak tonight as a decree. Say only what you want to live. If you speak peace, peace will become your home. If you speak faith, mountains will move for you. You are stronger than every charm she ever cast. You are the echo of a promise made long before her darkness began. You are the one heaven calls beloved redeemed. And though the witch believed she could take your beauty, she did not know the truth. Your beauty was never on your skin, it was in your light. That light cannot be stolen. It can only be hidden. And even then, only for a while. My beloved, I need you to trust what is about to happen. Within the next 3 dawns, something unexpected will surface. A conversation, a slip of the tongue, a dream that names a place. When it comes, do not panic. Simply watch. Heaven will show you exactly how her plan began, so that you may close it for good. When the revelation arrives, do not speak in anger. Do not boast. Whisper a prayer of gratitude instead, for that prayer will turn the moment into a blessing that ripples for generations. Every angel around you is watching now. They write every word you speak tonight as a decree. Say only what you want to live. If you speak peace, peace will become your home. If you speak faith, mountains will move for you. You are stronger than every charm she ever cast. You are the echo of a promise made long before her darkness began. You are the one heaven calls beloved, redeemed. And though the witch believed she could take your beauty, she did not know the truth. Your beauty was never on your skin. It was in your light. That light cannot be stolen. It can only be hidden, and even then, only for a while. Now it shines again. Look around you. Even the air feels gentler. Even your thoughts sound kinder. This is the sign that the spell is broken. Stay with me, child. There is more. My child, my beloved, you are still here. That means your soul has chosen truth over fear. And because of that single choice, heaven can now reveal what was hidden. Clear's throat. The witch's purpose was never to destroy you. She was the test that revealed your power. Heaven allows darkness only long enough to prove the strength of light, and when light rises, darkness collapses under its own weight. My beloved, you have been through too much to go back now. Every sleepless night, every tear you hid behind a brave face, they were never wasted. Each one was counted, each one planted, like a seed. And now the garden of your destiny begins to bloom. Do you feel that sudden calm? It's not emptiness. It's peace returning after years of noise. You see, when the witch cursed your name, she didn't realize she triggered heaven's protection protocol. That means your angels were assigned in greater number. They surrounded your dreams. They whispered inspiration when you were tired. They rearranged time itself so you wouldn't meet certain people too soon. That is why some doors closed. It wasn't punishment. It was preservation. God was hiding you in plain sight until the world was safe enough for your light to expand. Beloved, you wonder why blessings delay, because sometimes heaven waits until your enemies are gathered, so that when your victory comes, everyone sees it. That's what's about to happen for you. There will be people who doubted you, who laughed quietly when you struggled. They will watch you rise and say, "How did this happen so suddenly?" And you will smile, not with pride, but with quiet knowing. For a long time, it may have felt like something invisible was standing between you and the life you were trying to build. Not necessarily a person, but a constant heaviness that drained your motivation, clouded your confidence, and made every step forward feel harder than it should have been. When people spend enough time carrying emotional exhaustion, they often begin to believe that struggle is simply who they are. But there comes a moment when that weight finally starts to loosen. The mental fog clears little by little, your thoughts become calmer, and even ordinary moments begin to feel different. You wake up with more energy, you notice yourself breathing easier, you catch your reflection, and realize there is life returning to your eyes again. That transformation is not magic, and it is not illusion. It is what happens when a person stops living under constant emotional pressure and finally reconnects with a stronger sense of inner peace. The stress that once consumed your focus no longer controls every part of your day. You begin to understand how deeply exhaustion can affect the mind, body, and spirit at the same time. Yet healing also works in all three places. The strength you showed during difficult seasons matters more than you realize, because many people would have quit on themselves long before reaching this point. Even during moments when doubt was loud, some part of you kept moving forward anyway. That quiet resilience became the foundation for your recovery. Now there is space opening in your life again, not because the world suddenly changed overnight, but because you did. Your perspective became clearer, your boundaries stronger, and your sense of self more grounded than before. Now that your energy is clean, it's finally approaching. It may come as a phone call, a letter, or an unexpected meeting. Don't question it, accept it. It carries the sign of your new beginning. And the witch, she will see your rise and know that her chapter has ended. She will come to you in guilt or apology. But listen closely, beloved. Forgiveness doesn't mean re-entry. You can bless someone and still keep your distance. Mercy doesn't require contact. Keep your heart open, but your boundaries holy. That's how light stays pure. Heaven is writing a new name for you. It's not the broken one. It's not the forgotten one. It is the chosen flame. You carry a light that generations before you prayed would appear in your bloodline. They wept for the day someone would break the old patterns. You are that someone, my beloved. From now on, everything that left you will start finding its way back in divine order, not all at once, but steadily, perfectly timed. Every area of lack will meet abundance. Every wound will meet healing. Every unanswered prayer will echo back with now. And when it does, remember this night. Remember the moment you stayed when darkness begged you to skip. That obedience shifted everything. You are no longer in the same timeline, child. You've stepped into a higher one. The one where miracles are daily language, where protection follows you like sunlight, where even your silence carries authority. The witch cannot touch this new you. She can only watch from the distance of her own regret. Let her. You owe her no explanation. Instead, look ahead. There's a doorway opening before you. I see it glowing gold, wide and waiting. When you step through, all that you lost will be multiplied. Your voice will grow stronger. Your laughter will return in its full melody. Your spirit will shine so brightly that even strangers will feel calmer around you. That's how heaven announces victory, not with noise, but with peace. My beloved, your restoration is not coming. It has begun. Even now, the energies that once resisted you are aligning in your favor. Contracts, conversations, coincidences, all being guided to bless you. And in a few days, when you notice that impossible things suddenly happen, remember it wasn't luck. It was the reward of faith. You are free, you are chosen, and you are seen. My child, my beloved. And when it does, remember this night. Remember the moment you stayed, when darkness begged you to skip. That obedience shifted everything. You are no longer in the same timeline, child. You've stepped into a higher one, the one where miracles are daily language, where protection follows you like sunlight, where even your silence carries authority. The witch cannot touch this new you. She can only watch from the distance of her own regret. Let her. You owe her no explanation. Instead, look ahead. There's a doorway opening before you. I see it glowing gold wide and waiting. When you step through, all that you lost will be multiplied. Your voice will grow stronger. Your laughter will return in its full melody. Your spirit will shine so brightly that even strangers will feel calmer around you. That's how heaven announces victory, not with noise but with peace. My beloved, your restoration is not coming. It has begun. Even now, the energies that once resisted you are aligning in your favor. Contracts, conversations, coincidences, all being guided to bless you. And in a few days when you notice that impossible things suddenly happen, remember, it wasn't luck, it was the reward of faith. You are free, you are chosen, and you are seen. My child, my beloved, don't rush these words. Let them settle inside you, like soft rain over tired ground. Every sentence I give you now rebuilds the foundation the witch tried to crack. For so long, you have walked through days that felt the same struggles, the same silences, the same unanswered prayers. You thought heaven was quiet, but it was working behind the curtain, weaving small events together so that this very moment could exist. You are standing at the edge of that tapestry now. What follows is often less about external forces and more about how attention shapes experience. When uncertainty is present, the mind can easily amplify threats or assign meaning to events that are still unfolding, creating a narrative that feels urgent but is not always accurate. In such moments, fear tends to narrow perception, making it harder to see nuance or alternative explanations. A healthier response is to gently redirect focus toward what is observable and actionable in the present. Practices like gratitude or reflection can help stabilize emotional intensity, not as rituals with external power, but as tools for grounding attention. When you acknowledge what is steady in your life, your breath, your routines, your small achievements, you reduce the space that anxiety occupies. Over time, this shift in focus can change how memories and relationships feel, allowing past experiences to soften and future possibilities to feel less overwhelming. It also becomes easier to engage with others without projecting assumptions onto their intentions, which helps prevent misunderstandings from escalating unnecessarily. Progress in life rarely arrives in dramatic bursts. It tends to build through consistent decisions, small openings, and accumulated effort. What may feel like sudden change is often the result of earlier actions finally becoming visible. By staying anchored in clarity rather than speculation, you give yourself a better chance to respond wisely to opportunities as they appear. This approach does not eliminate uncertainty, but it reduces its control over your emotional state, allowing you to move forward with more balance and less reactivity over time naturally. You will finally see what heaven has always seen: the survivor, the chosen, the healer. That sight alone is your greatest defense. From now on, speak gently to yourself. Call yourself by names of light, blessed, worthy, beloved. Every time you do, another layer of the old energy dissolves. And when you rest tonight, whisper this prayer: I release fear. I choose light. I remember who I am. Those words are simple, but they open gates no witch can close. Tomorrow, you will notice the air different in your room. It will smell faintly sweet, though no flower is near. That will be the sign that heaven has taken residence there. Keep it that way by staying kind, by forgiving quickly, by believing again, because the rest of your life is not a fight anymore. It is a blooming. My child, my beloved, close your eyes for a moment and breathe as if the world has finally stopped chasing you, because it has. What you feel entering your chest now, that steady warmth, is what peace feels like when it first takes shape. It is not sudden thunder. It is quiet sunrise. It is the moment when heaven finishes fighting for you and simply lets you rest. Beloved, every path you walk from here on is being cleared before your feet touch it. Angels move ahead of you, brushing away debris of the old struggle. Even the people who cross your path will be chosen. Nothing will be random anymore. When you wake tomorrow, look at your life as if you are seeing it for the first time. Do not speak of loss. Do not look for proof that you are still cursed. Instead, speak softly. I am safe now, because you are. The witch will try to speak your name one last time in bitterness, but her words will dissolve before they reach you. They will fall to the ground as dust, because your name no longer answers to darkness. It answers only to light. You will soon notice people drawn to you, kind faces, calm voices. They will not know why they trust you, but it will be because your light feels familiar. Heaven is sending them to rebuild what was broken. Some will bring laughter, some will bring opportunity, some will bring love. All of them are answers to prayers you forgot you prayed. My beloved, I know what you secretly long for: to feel joy that stays, not the kind that fades when you wake up, but the kind that grows roots. That is coming. It will start small, a smile that lasts longer than usual, a morning when the weight in your chest is gone. Do not question it. That is joy learning your name again. You see, heaven restores in layers. First peace, then strength, then abundance. And when all three settle in, destiny begins to bloom. There will be signs. A feather where there shouldn't be one. A song that plays at the perfect time. A sudden light in the sky that seems to wink at you. Pay attention. Those are confirmations. They remind you that this isn't imagination. It's alignment. When you feel uncertain, remember this moment. Remember how still the air feels when you listen. That stillness is where I dwell. When you want to hear guidance again, do not search outside. Close your eyes, breathe, and I will speak from within. My beloved, keep your space gentle. Burn a candle if you wish. Keep your words kind. Keep your intentions clean. These small things build a wall stronger than any spell. My beloved, I know what you secretly long for: to feel joy that stays. Not the kind that fades when you wake up, but the kind that grows roots. That is coming. It will start small, a smile that lasts longer than usual, a morning when the weight in your chest is gone. Do not question it. That is joy learning your name again. You see, heaven restores in layers. One of the hardest parts of healing is learning how to forgive yourself for the seasons when you were exhausted, overwhelmed, or emotionally lost. Many people carry guilt for not recognizing unhealthy patterns sooner, for trusting the wrong people, or for spending too long doubting their own worth. But growth becomes possible when you stopped turning your past into evidence against yourself. You made decisions based on what you understood at the time, and every difficult experience taught you something valuable about resilience, boundaries, and self-awareness. Fear may still appear occasionally, because healing does not erase every memory overnight. The difference now is that fear no longer controls your direction. You are learning how to respond to it with calm instead of panic. Sometimes, a simple reminder is enough to bring you back to center, a phrase that helps you remember that difficult emotions are temporary and that your life is no longer defined by old pain. What matters most is that you are still here, still growing, and still willing to believe that better days are possible. The next chapter of your life does not need to be built around survival alone. It can also include joy, rest, laughter, meaningful relationships, and peaceful mornings where you no longer feel like you are fighting yourself just to get through the day. That kind of life is not unrealistic or out of reach. It begins with the decision to stop viewing yourself through the lens of past suffering and start seeing yourself as someone capable of creating stability, purpose, and genuine happiness. The experiences that once felt like they would break you may eventually become the very reason you learned how strong and self-aware you truly are.